And we are live. G'day, everyone, good afternoon, everyone, to this week's Throwdown Thursday, an afternoon version. And joining me for making his debut on Throwdown Thursdays, how are we going, Brad?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, mate. Up and about. Obviously, the Bubs news is pretty exciting as well, so I'll try to still push out content, but yeah, it might be time restricted here and there. Other than that, mate, how was your move and settling in now?
Yeah, no, really enjoying it. Weird living alone. Any mistakes that happen here, it's my fault. So, it's very weird living alone. I thought I'd either love it or hate it, but I'm really settling in, so it's nice.
Nice.
Nice. Easy to do content now, so it's good. On the run sheet for today's show, obviously your guys' questions down in the comments down below. We'll obviously be checking them. We've also got just a quick summary for our teams on the hot seat. We'll do a jump on, jump off version as well on the live stream as well. Talk about the rookies this week. Is it the final week for dead rookie changes? We'll discuss that. Nick Dacos, one of the more trade-in players, we'll go through that. Is Ned Long him? We'll figure that out. Pitanet name this week? We'll have to see. What do Tristan Cherry owners and non-owners go and do? Primo/fake Primo swapping. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Talking team structure, DPP changes. And we've also got captain and vice captain options this week. So a lot to get through. All right, Brad. Pumped for your debut?
Yeah, very pumped, mate. I've just read the run sheet, so I'm pretty informed with what you normally do with Damo, so it should be good.
Yeah, it should be good fun, mate. You're an icon of the channel, so I had to get you involved. So, all right, let's talk. Let's just get through the first part of the question. Before we do any of that, if you do want to jump into our StreamYard, then you're more than welcome to use the link down below, and you can be a part. Just go on stage and I'll add you in if you've got any questions, if you want to be a caller, that type of thing. So you're more than welcome to do that. And as well, follow us on Twitter. For me, Stephen D.W. Smith, and for you, Brad, it's is it just SuperCoach Pro?
SuperCoach Pro 91.
SuperCoach Pro 91. And you can follow me on TikTok at SDS_SuperCoach as well, where I do a bit of content. Make sure you like and subscribe to both of our channels, especially Brad's. We want to get him to 1K as soon as possible. Get that baby money in, extra baby money in. So
Oh, geez.
He needs to pay for some baby oil, so let's get him to 1K subs.
Probably nappies, yeah.
Craig's Fit, the boys. Hope you're going well, Craig's Fit. Love your work. Rookie coach, the lads. Hope you're doing well, mate. Cheese, what an icon. SDS in the big sneeze. There wasn't even a the. Is this comment actually loading, or is this an actual?
It's for me because my streams always seem to lag. So him and
bro.
put it in. Yeah.
That's all right. Stuart Mack, g'day, mate. I hope you're doing well. Hope everyone has a good Easter this weekend. Tunes into the footy and spends time with family, have some chocky, whatever you like to do. Stuart J. Fraser, is it a must-buy Gross and Cleary in this round? So I guess this can lead into one of our first discussion points. It's the rookie discussion. So got a few guys on the bubble this week. It's not looking as good of a crop the following week. How are we reading this week's rookie options, Brad? Does this feel like a good week to double downgrade?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to double downgrade and use a boost. So these are probably your must-haves. I think must-haves are a bit rich for your team. It's really dependent, but in terms of like cash gen over the next couple of weeks, these are number 1 and 2. I've got Cleary ahead of Gross in this one. But I think the job security is slightly better for Gross than what it is Cleary, just with Sydney's depth. But I think they are more of a must-have due to the rookies that we have next week just not being there, and we don't really know their job security as much as these two guys. So for me, it's probably more a must-have than a not must-have.
agree. And the rookie options next week seem to be Matt Carroll from Carlton and maybe pay 135, 140K for El Hawley potentially. I think they're the main two, I would suspect. So, yeah, I do think Gross and Cleary are definitely guys that you want to be getting into your side. El Hawley's not too bad if you're desperate for a defender, but ideally, with those two sub scores, we can probably wait an extra week on this. So, we certainly have a few options for rookies. I guess to mix rookie discussion in with final week for dead rookie changes. What do you think about potentially moving on a couple of dead rookies? Might not mean you're getting cash in, but just final corrections for cash generation. Is it too late?
No, it's not too late. I think these two are the guys you probably need, like more often than not. I'd rather this than sideways primos. Like I think these guys are the best of what we're going to get for a little while anyway. It's hard talking to a crystal ball, but they're probably like every trade plan I've had in my streams, I've always recommended Cross and Cleary so far. So, yeah, they're as close to a must-have as you can get with rookies anyway. Yep.
Yeah, and do you also feel like this might be the final week for any adjustments to dead rookies as it gets a bit close? Well, I mean, this week's even starting upgrade season. So,
yeah,
it'll be tough after this week.
I think depending on the team sheets, if some of these dead rookies aren't named emergency, then yeah. And it also depends how many dead rookies you got. If you got, let's say, 3 or 4 dead rookies, then yeah, you probably have to do it. If you've only got 1 and 2, then you're probably using these guys as downgrades from some fattened cash cows.
Yeah, exactly. I know for me personally, I've got Bo Allen. Everyone's making their debut at the Eagles, bar him, which is funny. Then I'd classify Henderson now as dead. He's either getting dropped or losing money this week. There may be Harry Boyd as well, unless of a Marshall injury. So, yeah, ideally, I think I'm going to move on Henderson this week. I think I'm just going to pray for Bo Allen to get back. Final corrections if need be. I know some people might want to hold on to that extra dead rookie to maybe move on to Davidson so that can allocate potentially a Nick Dacos trade or whatever the case may be. So interesting talking points. As we are basically here with upgrade season now, we're looking to get these upgrades into our side. So let's get into a few more of these questions. Absolute must-have for cash generation, even if you don't want to use a boost. Get these two in. I agree.
Yep.
Feels like 2 good rookies that we can have for a while. So I definitely agree for sure. Stuart Mack currently have backed out of trading Dacos to take long due to no cash gen next week. May not do it. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think he's crazy. Like Dacos' break even still 121.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think with the run the Pies have got, it's this week or next week for Dacos, it feels. I was looking at DFS. I believe Dacos has, along with so Collingwood and Essendon, I believe, for the rest of the season, have the best matchups against opposition midfielders. I tuned into your live stream a little bit, Brad. I think you went over it. I think they've got West. Who are the sides they got twice? Is it Melbourne, West Coast twice? No, I don't think West Coast.
Who was this for? Are you talking about Dacos?
Yeah, Nick Dacos.
Oh, I'd have to look back into it. But I think Merritt's fixtures are a little bit better.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What has Dacos got? Yeah, I was looking at who they doubled up against. I suppose that's a huge factor when you've got 20 rounds to play still. And looking at the double ups for Dacos, he's got Hawthorn. He's also got Hawthorn twice, Melbourne twice. That's pretty juicy as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just trying to see who else he's got there. My thing won't filter it to what I want it to. He doesn't got West Coast twice though. I don't think it matters. I think if I could afford to, I'd probably prefer getting Merritt over Dacos, but I just don't want to pay 600,000 for a player because we know what happened with Rao.
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot of lessons last year about paying up for some of these guys when sometimes we just don't really need to. We can save an extra 50K here on certain moves. So, yeah, I was just looking through on DFS just then. For the rest of the season, Collingwood, Essendon, Hawthorn and Richmond have the best opposition midfield matchups for the rest of the year. So, very interesting. So, I think that's why a lot of people are into Merritt, into Dacos. They have some fantastic runs. So, very interesting to see.
Dacos has got Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane, Fremantle, and Hawthorn twice. Sorry, just before we leave that one.
Yeah, I think, well, Adelaide aren't easy, but they don't tag per se.
Yep.
And that's similar with Freo.
Yep.
They're throwing Jager in there now to potentially be a tagger, but I don't think he's the best matchup for Dacos. I'm trying to think who the best. It's not an ideal tag matchup for Dacos, is there? There isn't one that comes to mind. I guess Finn, if they bring him back from the dead as a tagger.
Yeah, I honestly think the best tag is probably Windy and Bedford. So I'm more concerned about St Kilda and Giants. Like the other ones I don't really care about, like Sparrow and stuff. I'm not as concerned, but definitely if a team's playing St Kilda and Giants first, that worries me about some players bringing them in.
Yeah, because I think Collingwood have St Kilda round 15. Yes, they do, and then Collingwood don't play GWS for the rest of the year. So that's pretty clear on very strong tags. And I don't think they play Sydney again either, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Dacos's run. It's actually his really strong run starts after the bye. But if we're getting this type of, if you get the opportunity to get Nick Dacos at 60K cheaper, then you probably go for it. So. Yep. I have no complaints. Speaking of Nick Dacos, what do we see Dacos scoring tonight?
I think I replied to somebody before on Twitter. I think it's a little bit more than that. I can't remember what I did, but yeah, between 110 and 120. Yeah,
and if you decide to jump on this week, a 110 to 120, you lose 3K. It doesn't really matter. So. I think just this week or next week for him. Stuart J. Fraser, is Brock only in as McGovern has been out? So McGovern has been ruled as a test.
Yeah, potentially. I wouldn't look at Brock anyway, to be honest.
What did he score last week? Because he hasn't been talked about as a...
I think.
He scored a 39 last week. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so he's on the bubble. His break even it's still negative 60, but that's what you get with a 99K rookie. An 80 and a 39. So you'd rather the second score be bigger than the first score, realistically, at the end of the day. So I don't know. I feel like he's been stitched up a fair bit, playing on Jesse Hogan and Charlie Curnow. Like, I don't think you can get much of a read on a young player when you're throwing him to the Wolves like that. So hope he stays in. I think they're pretty small down back, so I think he could stay in the side because I saw on Twitter just before that Oscar Allen could be out. Now, I don't know what that means, so we'll figure it out. Geez, dead rookies are Boyd and Bo Allen for sure. Wait and see on Sardis and Elijah Hewitt, then possibly Clay Hall. I just have a feeling not looking good. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Clay Hall, but We'll find out in a few hours. Sardis, I think, will eventually come back. I'm not sure if they're going to change the midfield after their win against Melbourne. I think Hewitt's dead. I think he is. It was a very mild calf strain. And they've ruled him out this week. I don't know. I think he'll eventually come back in the side, but for the short term, you're not getting anything there. I don't believe. Would you have you got Sardis, Brad?
Nah, I don't really go for Essendon players. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't got him. I traded him out.
Would you look to get him back in at some point if he gets named again?
No way. I don't trust Scott as far as I can throw him.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, the Scott brothers are psychopaths.
Yeah.
Crazy fit. Don't fall in love with your rookie. Surprised we haven't been bevoed by Davidson. Davidson can go for me. Yeah, yeah. I feel like this is a good game for Davidson potentially.
If he gets you a primo early, you just full send it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. It's basically if I go Dacos tonight or I double downgrade this week. So that's what I'm tossing up. And yeah, I just keep thinking to myself, don't fall in love with rookies because we know a 50 can be around the corner for any of them. So if he's your avenue to Dacos, I think it's fine, but I'm just scared. Causa, the ladies' man. I'm looking at Hasty, Stone, and Henderson to Rosie, Gross, and Cleary. They are very good moves.
Yeah. Yep. I like it.
They're perfectly fine. Was comfortable in getting Dacos next week, but Ned Long in this week. Your thoughts on him?
I think I know SC God's keen on him. I just don't really want to pay another $280 for a mid-pricer. I already did that with Humphrey and Marek. I think best case scenario, it will score sort of like Marek is, but it's in the midfield line. He's not going to be a keeper, so you're going to use 2 trades to burn him out anyway, and you're not going to make any money off it. Unless you're dead set like SC God think he's going to average 90 to 95, then you probably send it. But it's a hard pass for me. I still understand his points for some of these other Collingwood supporters, but you'd have to be a supporter of that side to really know inside depth of your team. Like I was asking you about Dylan Moore before, similar situation. Like I wouldn't pick a 280K rookie unless I picked the Richmond rookie that I was confident on, and I knew he was going to get CBAs because of Uze had a press conference. But if he gets named sub tonight, a lot of people will back out of that.
Yeah, and I think if this was a few weeks ago, I think there would be a lot more interest in me. It's not my kind of pick at this point in the season. We're looking to upgrade and downgrade our team now. And I just think 280K is just too much in the middle for me. With not even that good job security as well. Like, he could easily just be sub very shortly. So we've seen that. I think he's been sub 2 times potentially this season. Might even be 3. So it's not a pick for me, but I'm not going to stop anyone if they've got a really good feeling on them. So what would you say a pass mark for the long pick would be, Brad? Do you reckon 90?
I think you'd have to average you 85 to 90 for it to be a decent trade. If he can give you rookies off field, but I just feel like in the midfield anyway, you got a lot of those players you can rely on anyway. Like, I don't feel like we're dead for midfield rookies. I feel like we've still got Levi Ashcroft, the Melbourne boy. What's the guy Lindsay, I think, will have more time on ground this week.
Yep.
So I just don't think there's a need for him in majority of sides unless you really need to. So for me, yeah.
I think as well, we have rookies this season that I think we're comfortable with fielding. Like, if you told me we had to field Tom Gross on Friday night against Essendon, I'd be fine with doing that. I think just with that CBA role. Davidson, I'd be fine fielding. Lindsay, I'd be fine fielding. You got Ashcroft. You got a lot of these. You've got a lot of these guys that you can just field. Like even Caden Cleary, you could probably tell me, you know what? I'd be. I wouldn't be against fielding. Like he's got good DT scoring history. So. Yeah, I just think we've got a lot of rookies. I think there's real potential for rookie roulette carnage this week. I think there might be a guy that we bench that might go 90. It just feels like one of those weeks. A lot of rookies with good matchups. So, yeah, that's also another reason why I'm not into long, but that's all right. SDS paying up for Tom Green. He will never forget it. Oh yeah, that's a real throwback. I can barely remember last year because of how shit it was, but Yeah, no, that was a season killer, and that was a very good reminder to me just to not bother with paying 670. Like, I'm pretty sure over the last 2 years, Bont's been the only player to stay above 600K. So, no guarantee he does it this year, but you never know. Bedford has played him well. Yeah, I'd say Bedford's probably the best tagger for him, where he's one of the very few that can match his speed and endurance in games. Causa, St Kilda, yeah, that's what concerns me. St Kilda, the third easiest matchup for wingers, so I'm holding Davidson for a week. I think a hold is fine as well. So, yeah, that does scare me. What do we reckon he can get to though? Like, what do you reckon he could get to? 360K?
I think he gets about anywhere between 340 and 370. So I looked at it. If he scores 100 this week and scored 70 for the next 3 or 4 weeks, it'd take him about 5 weeks just to get to 50K anyway. So he'd actually have to go back-to-back 100s for it to be valid. So for me, it gets me a primo early. I'd just full send it. Although in saying that, I'm looking at some cheaper primos that I could bank the cash off as well. So I don't know. I just feel like Davison and Humphrey are sort of gone for me this week. I've already got the names on their board.
Would you also what are you thinking early next week? Do you reckon Tom Stewart comes on the radar?
Yeah, I've got Tom Stewart, Petrarca on the radar. I think Tom Stewart for Matty Roberts. If Matty Roberts goes another 70 and then Stewart turns up, there'll be like 10K difference. So that is my bailout option. For me, you sort of get a free hit this week at Roberts. Like if Roberts goes 110, you'd be absolutely so pissed with yourself. So I think to sort of wait 1 week and then go to Tommy Stewart because you know he's going to average 105, you'd be laughing. Whereas I don't really want to pay 70 grand more at this stage for a Holmes. I could do it, but I'd rather just pay like an extra 10K for Stewart the week after because at least you know Holmes is going to get tagged, not Stewart.
Yeah, and the history's there with Tom Stewart, just whether he can beat Father Time. So, Global, g'day, beautiful people. Hope you're doing well, mate. Happy Easter. This is a Wi-Fi password, LT7T23. Better to hold Roberts or Callahan. I don't see the point trading Callahan at this point. I feel like this is at his lowest value.
Yeah, true. Yep.
You're better off just holding. The question you asked me has, with some of these guys, has the role changed in a negative way for Finn Callahan? And I would say no. I think he's just in a little bit more of a rough patch at this stage. Where Roberts, you can make an argument where there's more ball going. More ball going around for Bice and Blakey. That sounds mad, but yeah, you get what I mean.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so I would say Callahan, but ideally hold both, I reckon, for one. Yeah.
I own both, so I'm holding both for what it's worth.
I think just prioritise get rookies off the field, I reckon. Let's get into a few more points on our run sheet. Let's talk about let's talk about Tristan Cherry real quick. What do non-owners and owners do with this pick? Like, is it? It's a very frustrating situation. It would be for owners and even non-owners. We're almost thinking like, gee, what do we do? Do we want this? I think we do, but
look, his break even is 159. He's projected 95. So if he does that, he's going to go down another 28K, which would make him about 530 next week. If you're an owner, you're probably just holding and hoping he comes good because he's going to be R1 at some point eventually. For me, if you're an owner, you hold him and just hope that he turns it around. And then as a non-owner, you're sort of looking at him to do like a 120 smash out the parket and look convincing, but it's probably more of an eye test. So I'm probably not going to listen to people that didn't watch the game. I'd have to really take a notes on Cherry to see how he's looking and if he passes. And maybe look at his season stats from last year to this year. Is it anything dropping off? Is his time on ground lower because of the injury? Is he not getting as many tackles as he did last year? And sort of just comparing the two. Once he sort of trends upwards, just seeing if that's sort of similar trend to what he did last year in terms of the statistics. So I probably want back-to-back 120s for me to be convinced to jump on. As an owner, though, you wouldn't want to jump off because everyone eventually is going to jump on.
I agree. And I guess the major concern for me with this cherry pick at the start of the season was just the tough run he had. And I was just sort of thinking, like, I don't really want to pay $6.45 for this. Now, at the same time, we couldn't predict that he was going to have a hamstring awareness 5 minutes into round 3, where he's looked significantly worse. Like, he looked really good in the first 2 games. It's just, I think owners probably would have preferred just Cherry to have a week off during best 18 and him get back to a bit more normal rather than North Melbourne trying to play through this injury for him. So he's going to get pretty cheap. And I'll tell you what, if he looks good tomorrow, Arvo, he's very interesting if Mark Pitterneck gets named as a trade next week.
Something for you. So round 1, he had 113 minutes played. Round 2, he had 109. And then round 3, 99, followed by 96 minutes, and then followed by 102 minutes. So there, just by a sample size of TOG, it clearly shows he's hampered. So he's missing an extra 10 minutes. Then you look at statistic-wise, the tackles, they're actually still similar. Like, he had 7 in round 1, then 2, 4, 3, and 6. So nothing of that's really dropped off.
Yep.
I'm just trying to break it down. He's definitely not kicking much this year. I can see that. He's got, like, no more than 6 kicks. So it's all handball. So if you've done a hamstring, you're probably going to be a bit handball happy.
Yep.
And then a lot of free kicks against 2, 4, 3, and 3. The hit-outs too are a little bit weird. Like, it's hard to read because you got 51 against Dogs, where English concedes a lot anyway, 29 against Melbourne, 28, 23, and 33. So it's really hard to read. You'd have to look at last year's stats. So if you go back to 2024 season, his kick to handball ratio is sort of similar. It's more 50-50 with some of these games, but it's not as, 70-30 handball way. So it just tells you the time on ground and the handball happy, he's probably carrying something if you're really looking into it that way. So, yeah, for me, I'd be concerned, but it's just a firm hold because we don't know what's going to happen with TDK.
Yeah, I think you just have to hold. And I guess, so good analysis, Brad. That's good stuff from you, mate. So, yeah, Tristan Cherry actually does have one of the more positive run homes for rucks, but that really starts in round 10 where he's got Richmond. That's a green matchup. Collingwood is a light green matchup. Then he's got the bye. Then West Coast Freo are both green matchups. So that's 4 green matchups in a row. Carlton and Hawthorn are pretty neutrals. And then you got the Dogs. That's an easy matchup. Then his first red matchup, bad matchup for ruck, is round 18 against Gorn, who is even conceding a lot more than as a ruck compared to last year, where he's doesn't look as good. He looked good against Essendon, but he usually struggles in that matchup. So very interesting with Cherry. Now, I guess speaking more rucks, we can head to, I guess, could Mark Pitterneck be named this week? And could this cause drama for our ruck line with potentially TD Case being a bit more time forward?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I've looked into this as well. So De Conning's issue this week, he does have a break even of 125. If Pitterneck comes into the side, personally, I'm probably holding 1 week because you don't know. Like, Mackay probably comes back, Pitto out, worst case, after the concussion. So for me, I don't really want to jump off just off 1 week's data. Even if he plays north and plays up forward, you'd think he'd kick 3 or 4, you'd hope at least. I mean, second to this, the worst, well, not the worst decision you could do, but quite the opposite. You could look at a Sam Draper, a Briggs, or somebody like that in a flex position. And then if Pitto gets named back-to-back weeks, you could always swing one of those to R2. And third to that as well is I'm looking at Romo. So if Romo bottoms out at 400 and something, 450K, and De Koning keeps getting named, even if they're the same price, I don't mind straight swapping a De Koning to a Romo once Romo's fit again. So I think you got 3 bailout options there. But for me, I'm not going to reactionary trade off one thing and then see him get dropped the week after and wanting to bring him back in, because this could be a 1-week play where people get, 30, 40 points on us for trading him out. But then the week after, they just might get punished. And Romo, to me, at 450K is such an option at worst case scenario for any of these players. If Cherry's not looking right, like you could almost make 100K off going to Romo once he's fit. I actually think too that Boyd probably gets named sometime soon if we keep seeing these scores from Marshall, because something's up there. So that's my take on the Conning analysis between what we could do.
Yeah, and I think as well, I think the alarm bells. So I'm expecting Pitternet to be named tonight because they need, they lost Kemp and Mackay in 1 week, and Pitternet is probably the strongest option to take that spot. My major red flag will be if Mackay's back and Pitternet stays and they run Curnow, Mackay, TDK. I'm like, no, I think I can't do this. The downside's too poor when Pitternet plays. So, but I think, the glass half full approach tells me that Pitternet's named. We copped it on the chin this week. Hopefully goes 80. Then the following week, Pitternet goes out for Mackay and they play Moya, youngster from Carlton. I think he was picked 28 and at the end in the 2023 draft. So he's highly touted. So he could play that Brody Kemp role. And I think TDK just replaces Mackay. Mackay's output for this week. So very interesting team selection tonight. I think there will be a couple of interesting moves. We'll probably even hear before teams if Mark Pitternet's back in due to Ab's secret sources. So, yeah, they'll be interesting as well. So, we'll get into a couple more of these questions. Alex, Holmes or Nass, really stuck between which one?
Nass, because of his buy.
Yep, Nass, I agree. Just suss out a little sus on his role, where they're moving him a bit more up the ground wing type thing. But it's Nasiah Wanganeen-Malera. He doesn't know how to score under 80. Like he hasn't got a massive ceiling, but he hasn't got a low floor. Like it's just between 80 and 120 each week, which is just very comfortable to have. Maybe have a look at Jordan Clark. I think Jordan Clark is flying under the radar a bit as well. Looks like he seems to be the main guy in defence for Freo. Yeah, Romo looks juicy. Yeah, he does. 450K, very interesting option when we see how this TDK pick goes. One thing I like to do at the start of the show that I forgot to do, just a quick round 5 summary of our team. So, Brad, I believe we both had pretty strong weeks. Brad, you can kick us off. Just a summary on how you went in round 5.
Yeah, we'll get the popcorn out. I scored a 2-3-7-1. I went huge. Round rank similar to you actually, 366. I went up 6,500 spots, and I'm now ranked 1,274. Team is flying this week. Rookie roulette paid off. I brought in Brayshaw, captained him. Other than that, the side on paper looks good. Best 18 sort of affected my side the way it's structured. But for me, yeah, I'm in a pretty comfortable spot. But we know it's a 1 week process. Like this week, I could go 2,000. You just never know. But I just need my mids firing. If my mids fire, my team fires. If they don't fire, I'm sort of stuffed. But I heard you had a good week too. So yeah, how did you go?
Yeah, well, good stuff, Brad. Good to see you flying. What was your overall rank? It was a 1,000.
1,274.
Oh, gee, you're looking good, mate. I scored a 2,386, which is 223rd best score of the round. So, yeah, I know I couldn't believe it. So that is my best ever week best ever round in SuperCoach AFL. So I know. Yeah, pretty, very happy with that. Literally everything went my way except Dale. Like everything else was just wonderful. If I had Nash instead of Dale, I'd probably win the weekly. But my side's not 223rd good, but I know it wasn't like 25, 30K rank what I was getting. I was similar with you. I built my side based on best 22, not best 18, because I know I have less rookies on field than most, but that just means I get a lot more 80s and 90s and that type of thing, where it evens out in best 22 pretty well. Where in best 18, if you've got the more expensive guys, they're obviously got more of a chance to pop off to 130s and 140s. So that was killing me. And Captain Brayshaw. Isn't Brayshaw good fun to own, Brad? Welcome to the party.
Mate, he is amazing to watch. I got one statistic for you. I tried to find the other ones, but back in 2022, I had a round rank of 12, and that was in round 2022. I was so close. Yeah, round rank was ranked 12 for the round. That was in year 2022 of playing SuperCoach.
Shit, really? Yeah. That's mad.
Yeah, that was the year I finished 1,262 after starting off 24,000, which wasn't a massive comeback. But, yeah, I feel like starting sides are so underrated.
Yeah, they're underrated for sure. Like you want to be nailing I think the rookies are the main thing you want to nail. Like I think what's hurt me so far this season is I feel like I've poorly selected the rookies, where I feel like I've had to make a lot of adjustments with these dead rookies.
Yep.
That's all right. So yeah, good round from us too. Hoping to bounce back. Sorry, not bounce back. Hopefully to continue our good form. I'm ranked. I forgot. I think it was 4,700. So I'll take that. Very happy with that. Back with the pack a bit more now, so it feels nice. Feels rewarding. Last year I panicked and made silly moves. This year I just thought, if I stick to my process, we'll be right. So good to be back. So let's talk about some DPP changes here, where we've got, I think, 70 players with DPP, which feels like a record. It feels like a record amount of interesting options getting forward status or defender status, or rookies getting mid back or forward mid, which has really helped us. So, who are some of the relevant players that interest you the most with these new DPP changes?
I've got a few, and then we can go into whichever ones you want, really. But Nick Martin's one of them. I don't really know the rankings of these orders because I haven't really looked into it much. But Nick Martin's got a good fixture. It's annoying on team sheets, though, because he's half back and he's half forward, but he scores okay. His fixture's brilliant. I think he can still come down a bit, but he's got forward defender. So he makes
that's really nice.
That's the best one. Best combination, but maybe not the best scoring. Second on the list is Petrarca, mid-forward. Could probably wait a week, but the fixture after Fremantle, who he doesn't score well against, just opens right up for Petrarca.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah. He hasn't been looking great, but this is the eye test we have to watch. Third on the list for me is Sammy Draper, for reasons we'll get into a little bit later. Ruck forward, 411K. Peatling, I'm probably going to skip over. I'm just trying to think if there's any ones that really stood out for me other than those kind of players. Probably those three are my main takeaways. Other than that, we got kissed in a nice way with these rookies getting mid-forward, like your Murphy Reeds, your Levi Ashcrofts.
They're very, very handy, isn't it?
Yeah. Other than that, they're the three players that really stand out to me. I'd like to see what you'd think as well. Harley Reid, midfielder, defender's weird, but he just looks awful, to be honest. That's a weird one.
Real sophomore slump, it seems, for Harley Reid, Yeah, there's a few that have gotten defender. Rory Laird eventually got defender status. Which is, I don't know. I guess he's interesting if he picks it up. But, it's interesting. Like, I don't know if you saw my tweet. My forward line's already complete, which I'm not a fan of, because it feels like you're missing out on opportunities down the line with an already finished line in your team. So I'm not a massive fan that my forward line's already complete. But I guess it was a saving grace with the Petrarca pick. At least he got forward.
You'll probably get an injury anyway. So there's a huge chance that, some of these players become injured, then you have to pivot to a pod. So I'm looking at players for round 11. If Rosie gets half back, I can put him in my defense. And then if a player like Dylan Moore gets a CBAs that I think he will, he could be a mid forward as well. So there's a few other players who sort of maybe got to place a hold for. But at worst case, some of these players you're talking about in your side already could be not your worst F7, M9 kind of player. So it's something to think about there as well.
Oh, very much so. So it's interesting. I think I've really liked that SuperCoach have added the DPP adjustments. Feels a lot more free to the game, having multitude of thought processes with this. And I didn't add it on the run sheet, Brad, but I think we've gotten enough time now out of the flex position that we can talk about. Do you overall like the flex addition to the game?
I do. I think it makes it more interesting. I think we got it wrong. Well, at first analysis, I thought midfielders would be the best flex option. And then everyone would sort of jump on this hot ruck discussion that ruck would be the thing. But I think we've come to realise it's probably midfielders, because then you can swing your rookies forward in midfields. Ruck is good if you've got a failing ruck. But for me, the flex makes the game a little bit more interesting. Takes out that annoying score when somebody gets a 6, like we saw Tom Green injured his ankle last year.
Yep.
So it probably makes the casual and the more experienced fan a little bit more sustainable to play the game longer, because their shit score doesn't get counted. Other than that, I think it's been a hit so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I really do like the adjustment. 23 players on field instead of 22, but you're still getting your 22 best scores. We know a lot of casuals would have been frustrated and probably quit the game with some of these bad scores to premiums, because it's literally nothing you can do, and it's bad luck. And now that gets taken out of the game a lot more, unless you get 2 of those things. But I really do like the adjustment they've made. I think SuperCoach try to add something new to the game each year to, I guess, have a main talking point over pre-season on structure and tactical stuff, different stuff we can do. Like they've added the boosts in recent years, DPP, now the flex position. So I think SuperCoach are making great adjustments to the game, and I'm really enjoying it. Shout out to the boost, not the boost, the flex. All right, let's get into a few more questions. I don't really like cheese. Am I stupid for looking at Big Nuke? Like the run they have and want to go left when everyone's going right. That's fair enough. No, I don't think you are, because like Day's out for probably the majority of the home and away season now. So they have one of the stronger runs for midfielders, so that helps as well. And I think it's a very interesting pod. The floor, the low floor puts me off. That's the only thing, but I think it's a very interesting pod. And at 5 DK, like you can go a lot worse than Jai Newcomb. He's probably the number 1 tag target. That would be the only thing, but he seems to get through it relatively well. So, I don't think it's. I think it's worth a crack. Like Hawthorn have a good run against mids for the rest of the year. They've got them through their tough part of the midfield opposition draw. So, how are you reading the Newcomb pick?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I've definitely been looking at it as well. Like he scored 90 against Sydney. I don't know if he got tagged by Jordan. Maybe you can clarify these stats. 81 against Essendon, 149 against Carlton, but Carlton are bottom 2. Giants 89. So I don't know if Bedford. I'll ask you about that in a second. And then 104 against Port Adelaide. For me, I just want to see those scores, even with a Will Day beforehand, sort of all be around maybe 96, 90, 97 at worst, sort of like your Terrors. But for me, if you're going to bring him in, you probably do it now. He's got the Cats, West Coast, Richmond, Melbourne, and then Gold Coast. Absolute pod. It's probably more a thing like, do you think he can match with the big boys? He plays Geelong this weekend, break even 134. There's Atkins or Connor, go to him. You can probably wait one more week on this. If he gets to 94, what he's projected to do, he'll go down 17K and he could be around 530-ish K. So for me, I'd probably want to wait 1 week and then know that he's got West Coast Richmond to reassess at 530. I also want to see the tackles are there, so that's what keeps him from not scoring under 80 so far. I just want to see him hit the scoreboard as well. Like he's hit 1 goal, 1 goal, 1 goal, so 3 goals. I just want him to convert a little because the Essendon game he had 2 behinds and that Carlton game 1 behind. So if he could get a goal each week too, like that's 105 player, no worries, maybe even more. So for me, I don't know. I'm not completely sold, but I don't hate it.
No, I think there's a lot worse you can do than Newcomb. I like the pick. I think you can wait a week, just see what Geelong do. So I don't think he's had a tag yet this season, to my knowledge, because Jordan in the second half went to day, Bedford went to day, any other tags before that went to day. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes with the tag. But I mean, I don't know. He beat Willem Drew in the semi-final last season when Day was obviously Day was injured again there. So I don't think you can do. I think you can do a lot worse than Newcomb. I find him quite interesting. If you need a midfielder in that buy, I think that works. I believe Collingwood have the same buy, so maybe if you go Dacos and Newcomb, probably wouldn't add to that much more. But I think there's a lot worse out there.
The other issue too, just before we move off this Newcomb chat, is Geelong's his second worst scoring side that he averages against. That's what concerns me about this game.
Yeah, and Geelong, I think, are the most mysterious when it comes to tags because there are occasions where they don't tag all game, but maybe once every 3 weeks they do tag, and sometimes we don't even know who will be the tagger. It might be O'Connor, it might be Atkins, so which makes it a lot more mysterious and not having as much of a clear answer for this week. But if you're looking, if you're not getting in Newcomb this week and you're more looking at him, that's perfectly fine. Spud Farmer traded out Rosie, tempted to trade back in with the new role. Yeah, so there's obviously reports of him still training at halfback. Yeah, it's I actually do feel for traders because I felt like it makes sense. Like a 166 break even against a strong Hawks midfield. So I do feel for Rosie owners. Like this was probably the last thing we expected to happen. A half back role for Rosie. If you told me role change, I thought half forward, and I'm thinking, oh crap. But it's half back role. I couldn't predict it. So, do you reckon this is a fine trade back in? It feels like it can be.
I'm kind of on the other side of this. Unless you think he's going to be a top 10 midfielder from here on out, or you believe that Ken will stick him back for the next 6 rounds for him to get DPP, then I'd go for it. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I'd rather spend an extra 50, 60K on it. Maybe someone I thought was going to actually finish top of the line, even a Tom Green, Matty Rao, Dacos, Sarong, etc. Unless you're really convinced that Rosie is going to be 100% in the backline post round 11, or you think he can match with the big dogs, I think he's just a little bit off that. Like, he did have a few goals early in that game as well. So, I don't know. I don't really trust Ken at this point. It's probably a role that does stick, but I'm very, very stubborn. Once I trade out a player like Horn Francis, I don't really bring him back in until I've seen a bit of an eye test, or else it just shows that I'm a bit reactionary too. If your gut feel traded him out the last week, you may as well just hold that gut feel for at least a month and then go, all right, my gut feel was wrong or it wasn't right.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you trade him back in, you're basically conceding defeat on it.
Absolutely.
And that's actually a fair enough point. Like, just see how the role continues and just hope that he doesn't go too bonkers.
Yep.
Causer. I still can't believe rank 1 will be hard to chase down. Almost 12 million team value already. It's never too close this early in the season. Yep. A lot can change. So we usually get a good view on how teams are shaping up probably after the mid-season buys on like who's probably looking the best. He does look like, he's a step ahead of the rest, but all it takes is a couple of trades. I mean, credit to him. He's absolutely killing it, but there's still plenty of time to go. So, he's nearly got 12 mil team value already, and I haven't seen that with anyone else. So he's certainly built himself up the best out of everyone. So, I don't remember if I've had a look at the team, but it's a pretty good side.
I think mine's 11.6 mil, so I'm not really worried about how much a team has in the bank. I'm more looking at what pods they bring in, who do I miss that I probably should grab to stop the burning, I suppose, in my side. But for me, at round 5 or round 6, it's not like 100% guaranteed they're going to finish first. Even like I've seen the last 4 rounds before, like teams change and someone gets one massive score out of a pod and you've caught up. Like I'm 200 points off Hippo and he's ranked 78. So 200 points could be 1 week. Like I scored 200 points above some of you guys in chat, and this is not having a go, but I also just overtook half the people in our little creators thing. So 1 week can change. Like I was looking at 7K before, there was a few of us in top 1K, and then it reverts the other way. So a week in footy, a week in SuperCoach is huge, and I don't really worry until maybe round 20, and then you see if they've still got trades as well. That's when it gets juicy for me.
Yeah, like rankings this early in the season don't mean too much. There's so much. It's still so close at this point in the season where a bad week, you go down to 10K. A good week, you get to 500th. Like it's very easy to come back or go back down.
100%.
Tic-tac slice. Hey, lads. Hope you're doing well, mate. Pattern to Gross. Is it Gross or Gross? What have you been saying?
I'm no good at English, so I've been saying Gross.
Yeah, hopefully for the young fella's sake, it's Gross, not Gross. Pattern to Gross and have to play Gross and Cleary on field with 123K in the bank. Or Moraes to Gross and play Trainer and Gross or Cleary on field with 192K in the bank. I'd do the first one because I think Gross and Cleary are fine on field this week.
Yep.
Moraes could have a spike. I know it's looking a little bit grim at this stage, but I still have faith he can pop out a good score here and there. Paul Jones, Arvo, guys. G'day, mate. Hope you're doing well. Would you trade out Levi Ashcroft, Davidson, Powell Pepper in Zeret, Cleary, and Gross using the last boost? I personally wouldn't, mate. I think Levi Ashcroft has got a fair bit more money to go. I think Powell Pepper might have regenerated some cash gen with that 100 score. Davison, I think, is fine to trade out. And I'm not a massive fan of using your final boost like that for me personally, mate. But, if you've got any other suggestions, let us know. But, I probably wouldn't be doing this, mate. What do you think, Brad?
Straight up agree with this, what you've said, mate. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got it, talk us through some other suggestions that you might have, and we'll see where we land on. Alex, Hawks, Cats prediction. I think Geelong win. I just think we're 4-1, but we're not going as well as some may suggest. I think we've dropped a fair bit in a few different statistics and all that compared to last season. So I think Geelong are just very professional. They know how to get it done. They've got the leg up on us for bloody ages. So I'll do anything to win the game, but I do expect Cats by about 4 or 5 goals. What do you think, Brad?
I think Geelong by a goal, mate.
Yeah, another Easter Monday heartbreak. That's what I deserve. Oh God, it's my least favourite day of the year. After starting first ranked in 2021, I stayed in the top 1K the whole year. Starting team is so important. It is very important. You just want to nail some of these premiums and obviously some of the rookies as well. So you don't have to make as many corrections throughout the year. So top 1K is always a great result.
This
Yeah,
guy,
was it? Yeah.
Crazy Frogs, has the most like wild and like sick pods and VCEs you ever see on Twitter too.
I rate it.
I've been watching him so much. I'm like, holy shit, what's he going to do this time? Anytime I know I've done the same move as him, I'm like, yeah, I've hit the crazy level. So I love to see it. He's so unique. I'd love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Crazy Frogs. He does what some of us don't have the balls to do. So full credit. I met him last year at Gather Round in Adelaide, and just a ripper bloke. Just love spending time with him down at the Adelaide pub. Keep an eye out on us too. We might be heading to Gather Round next year. So yeah, we'd love to. We'll cut up Hindley Street with these. Cheese, I had the Bedford tag. I know that for sure. Oh, wait, what's this? Yeah.
Newcomb,
was this?
Newcomb, I think. Newcomb?
Oh, with Newcomb. Yeah, he was on him on occasions, but from how I saw it was mainly on Day. But yeah, I think when Day moves forward, Bedford goes to Newcomb. Yep, Carlton will win.
I can't read.
I would suspect so, yes. I think Carlton probably win. Be funny if North won, though.
True.
Jack Rankin. Here you go, mate. Trades this Sam De Koning, Roberts, and Finn O'Sullivan out. Had 285K in the bank. Gone Dacos, Wanganeen Milera, and Cleary. I think they're fine. Yeah.
Yep.
What's Finn O'Sullivan might have regenerated some cash gen, though. That'd be my only thing.
I think he's got a 69. So he might have, but if you're getting Primos in early, I don't hate it. Like he's bringing in Dacos and Nas, so they're probably top 8 of their line at least.
Well, I thought he scored a lot better than that last week. The way people were carrying on, I thought he scored like 90, but
I think because he had a huge first half and then dropped off, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool with me then. This week, I'd be going Wanganeen Milera, just play the break-even game with that. Yep. I believe Whitfield dropped an 85, and now his break-even's looking a little bit skewy. 124 is actually not bad.
Yeah.
How's his run looking for designated kickers? How we look? Yeah, I'd probably wait at this point on Whitfield. Obviously, we want to get him in at some point, but not exactly urgent, I would say, Brad.
Yep. I agree with that. That's interesting, this one, for you.
Yeah, yep. DJ Gardner Holmes. Good name. Hope you're going well, mate. Steve, got a question for you, mate. Is Dylan Moore an option with an ASM break-even of 456K? I think he can average more than Petrarca from here on out. Can't guarantee he'll out-average more than Petrarca, but I think he is flying under the radar a bit more. I was speaking to Brad about this before the show. So the main three is still going to be Newcomb, Nash, and Warple, but then it becomes Dylan Moore as that fourth man. And then there'll be some Mackenzie CBAs and maybe even some Ward CBAs. So there's a fair few names to go about there. If you wanted to go against Petrarca, I think this is perfectly fine. I think Dylan Moore, we always know we can guarantee a 95-plus average out of him in a season. So, yeah, I think he can do 100 from here on in. It depends on how you view Petrarca, though. If you think Petrarca will out-average more than 100, if Petrarca will average more than 100, then you probably go Petrarca because you want to get points rather than a pod type. But if you think Petrarca goes and you want to bet against that, you view it as a 95 average for Petrarca and maybe more as 100, then I think you go that way. So, yeah, totally up to you. I know you're interested in Dylan Moore.
Oh, I've Dylan Moore picked this week and for the next. So his CBAs for the first couple of rounds was 17%, 9%, 4%, 9%, and this week 51%. As a forward last year, he had bugger all CBAs and still averaged 90s, and he has for the throughout his career played well, even as a half-forward flank. If this guy gets 50%, I probably might wait one more week just against Geelong to see if it's a back-to-back 50%. They'll give us 2-game sample size. But I think this is a massive shout against your Rankins, against your Trackers, against your Hornymans, etc. I think he's this or next week. Good price. I think he can match with those other 3 we talked about. 7% owned, absolute pod. I might wait a week, but I definitely think he's really hot on my radar. This week, if I'm looking at cheap players that I think can be valuable, it's Dylan Moore and Sam Draper. As disgusting as the second one sounds, I have my reasons, but Dylan Moore, yeah, he's a hot take. I was discussing this with Hippo at 2 a.m, actually, and speaking of the which, he's in the chat.
Yeah, I've seen him. What an absolute king. We'll get to your question in a sec, mate. So I think I agree with you more. I'd probably just give it another week because Sam Mitchell can throw some different magnets each week. Where what if he decides he wants Josh Ward to get some more CBAs, and maybe that means Dylan Moore drops. So I'll just wait a week on that and see if there's any bullshit that happens. But I do expect Moore to be that fourth banana in the CBAs. It won't be high, but he looked pretty good in the midfield against Port. So he knows how to get the ball fast, tackles. He's a good player to watch if you want him in your team. Crazy Frogs is a legend. Yeah, he's a beauty. I absolutely love him. So shout out to him. Hope he's doing well. Hippo, the absolute king of content creators so far, ranked 78, I believe, or 79. He's absolutely killing it. Love your work, mate. Hope you're doing well. So, so he's slowing on Holmes or Rowell. It feels weird to answer this because he's ranked 78. It's like I don't want us to ruin his view on it. Like he's clearly just going unbelievable. Depends which. If there's a worse rookie in a certain line that you're fielding at M8 or D6, probably go with whichever one's the worst rookie you're getting off field. But up to you. What do you reckon?
I think I like Rao better. He's just got like 3 130s in there as well. Like he's got Richmond this week too. So if Hibbo's trying to get a ranking boost, you'd probably be seeing Matty Rao, depending on his seat of who he's got there, or seeing Matty Rao against Richmond because, he's going to be huge. I think Ando still gets tagged as well. I know Matty Rao has sort of had a little bit of attention, but he's got Richmond, Sydney, Brisbane. Sydney he scores well against. Brisbane not really, but the next 2 for him. I don't know. Holmes feels like his ranking, he may as well just go pod-like and try to get even better. If I'm in top 70, I want to grab some pods. I don't really care about stopping the bleeding for Holmes because he's going to get tagged every now and then as well. And with Tom Stewart back in too, I think Holmes' scoring comes down a little bit, whereas Matt Rao, we know he's had a running coach and all the rest of it, how much that actually helps him. We know he's had hot starts, but I'm probably picking Rao over Holmes to average more throughout the seasons purely because we know what Rao can do. If you can put a whole season together of what he has been scoring too, he's an unbelievable pick at 559K.
Yeah, and I think he's a straight captain option this week as well. I think Rowell over Holmes for me. I think I agree with that. I think, he does look, I guess we say this early in the season every year, but Rowell does look differently good. Yep. So, I would go with Rowell over Holmes for me personally. Hippo the GOAT, he is. I love his work. He's an absolute unit. Ned Long, we discussed a little bit about this already, but we can quickly touch on it. I don't like paying this when it's upgrade season at this point. If this was a few weeks ago, a lot more interesting. But the fact he can be sub every now and then does put me off a fair bit at 280K. I think we're trying to upgrade and downgrade our side. So, what was your quick summary on him, Brad?
It's really hard to read into. Like he's even in a full game of 90 minutes against 91 minutes against Dogs, he scored a 57. And then he's got 101 minutes of game time, scores a 114, and then a 91 minutes, he scores 113. So his points per minute is good. Like, it's definitely there. It's more the fact that, like, DeGoey's back this weekend. He'll play forward. If Schultz comes in as well, does DeGoey play some midfield time? I'm not sure about his long-term scoring. So maybe in the short term, 1 or 2 week play, yeah. But at 280, you probably want to be upgrading. Personally, I don't hate the pick. If you're a Collingwood fan, then you're probably just sending it because you're going to have fun with this pick. But he's got to really average you around 90-ish for it to be successful. I'll give you a pies, man. You're doing it because you could probably back the coach a little bit more from what you've heard in the presses. But like you said too, yeah, that old mate's come out and said he won't be sub. But in 2 weeks' time, that could change with the amount of depth that they have in their side. Or he could be subbed out. You just don't know with McRae. He's not even, I don't know. Not for me.
Yeah. Fair enough. Hope that helps you milk shakes. Hippo, don't tell me you're switching your team again. No, it's fine. You're more than welcome to switch teams, Hippo. Cheese, I think Nash being sub was a reason for the CBA bump, but he did look amazing. Yeah, that is a good point. So, yeah, I think as we mentioned, I'll probably give it another week just to see if there's any BS with the role, if Josh Ward gets more, whatever the case may be. Hippo, it's Rao, Cleary, and Gross in for Davidson, Moraes, O'Sullivan. Yeah, those are some beautiful moves. Yeah, they're looking great. Yeah, that's the thing, and I don't think it affects Geelong's team that much when Holmes gets tagged, but he's probably the number one tag target. In saying that, though, Holmes is probably one of the best runners in the game, so it can be hard to match him when Cats are in transition. But, yeah, totally get that. Oh, Jonas Goats here. Rail is a bum. He will drown unless he gets on board with Anderson's arc.
Yeah, true. I think people were just burnt from last year, but
I don't think the people with never again. I think the people with never again lists will won't be getting Rao. Great take, lads. Cheers. Cheers. McIntosh goes to Rao this week. McIntosh couldn't tag him. A Bridget Knight. He just can't. He just can't keep up. No, he can't tag anything. So that wouldn't affect me too much. I think that's fine. Yeah, Rao will be fine. Rao, the ultimate Birdman, goes great for a while and starts shit in the bed. It might be different. Gold Coast are different gravy this year, Jonas. You never know. Stop hating on a Rao. Yeah, we love our ginger goat. Rao ruined my season. He's the worst. I can't even look at him. No, gee, come on, boys. It's just a ranger in bloody Gold Coast. He needs a bit of love and sunscreen. Hippo, are you boys set on trades this week? Yeah. What are you doing, Brad? I'm still figuring it out.
I'm looking at a few different ways. If Pitto's named, I might be tempted to grab Draper if Draper's not named with Goldie. So there's a few things to fall into place. Then I'm looking at Dylan Moore and potentially banking 150K for the week after. Or the third option is to go to Primo mid and deciding out of Sarong, Nick Dacos, Tom Green, and a Rao. So for me, it's almost about team sheets. This is why I haven't done a preview video either, because it feels like it's a bit of a catfish. So I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah, I'm either gonna double downgrade this week or use a boost to get Dacos.
I'm going to get those same two players as well, though. Are you going Cleary and Gross as well?
Yep. I'm going them. And then it's just whether I'm just debating whether to go Dacos now, realistically. So I love Dacos. So there's a bit of love. But I've got to decide tonight because Collingwood, of course, play tonight. McIntosh couldn't tag a fifth grader in a schoolyard.
Yeah, I agree.
I love the headband, though. Real Bruce Dool vibes.
He just looks so stupid. I can't stand him.
I'm waiting on team lineups for trades. Want to see what rookies need the boot. Yeah, I think I need team selection tonight. So that's in about an hour 40. Can't come soon enough. Love the Draper pick. Could skyrocket your ranking, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the issue that I'm confronted with. Like, if Draper gets named solo ruck and we've got 2 meter Peter, Draper's time on ground has been actually really good this season. I know he's played a lot of forward, but the ACL to Nick Bryan, if Goldie's kept out of the side, so many things to fall through this. If Pito's named as well, he could be my backup insurance. Swing Draper to R2, figure out the ruck situation with Cherry, Romo, etc. Then swing him back to F6, and then he finishes at F7 to an R3. So that's how I'm looking at Draper. Yeah, I know.
I like that view of it, Brad.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, it's very interesting with the Draper pick. Yeah, especially if he's solo ruck. Well,
yeah.
Goldie might be a ruck coach at this point if he isn't picked this week. So I guess team selections determine a lot of things. When Hippo picks Ranger out and he burns him in the videos, will be great. Yeah, I love your videos, Hippo, but the Rage videos are elite, I must say.
The best thing, seriously, when the Blues are getting smashed and something happens, like a player that shits the bed, the videos are so freaking funny.
Elite content, but hopefully we don't see many of them this year. Hope you go all the way, mate.
Yeah.
Rookie coach, team lineups could potentially shift some things, but I love the green pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. There's a chance that the tags go to Callahan instead of Green. So
I think they will, to be honest, too. Like, players are looking, because that round 0 game, clubs are looking to tag Finn. Green's getting away with it. I just don't know if Green can maintain the high amount of disposals he's getting at the moment. That's my only issue with Green. Like, he's averaging quite a lot. He's come off the calf as well, but I still like it. He's in 2.2% of sides. I think he can definitely match the other three we've been sort of talking about. So, yeah, I really love it. And his CBAs are high, as per usual. He's like 24 years old too. So, I don't know. Between Matty Rao and Tom Green just seems very similar.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Green's flying under the radar massively.
Yeah.
BC Dacos, C Rao. Yeah. No complaints. Yep. No complaints there, Jack. He kept Sarong a little quiet, didn't he? Or Sarong was just shit. How'd you read it?
Sarong's first half, it's just like he couldn't sort of get near it. I don't think he really kept him quiet. I think just like sometimes it was the luck of the ball bounce with scenarios with Sarong. Like, if he's getting tagged, which he sort of has for a few weeks now, he's still scoring 100s. Even last year, I think his lowest score was like an 84 or something like that. So he's the one player that I have sort of looked into fixture-wise, look at the windy tags and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not really concerned because at some point they're going to go to Brayshaw. So for me, I think Sarong's the only player that I'm tempted with more than these other players, but I don't want to handcuff myself with an Andy Brayshaw and a Sarong when it comes to captaincies. So I think Sarong's one of the only players that actually shakes a tag and then has a good last half. So I've been keeping an eye on him. I actually really like Sarong. The only issue for me is not much of a pod, nor is Dacos.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I believe Sarong's maybe not anymore. Sarong's more highly owned over Brayshaw. I think that might have changed now.
14% for Brayshaw, I think, roughly around there, and then it's like something like 27% for Sarong. Dacos is in probably 37 or 38% of size as of this week coming in around.
Yep. Fair enough. Jonas, VC, Gorn, C, Anderson's Arc. I like them as well.
I've got a question for you. Why do people want a VC Gorn? I don't mind it. I know Crazefit's hot on this too, but he's got Shrek. I know Shrek's a bit underdone, but Shrek, I think, will still keep him to like a 105. Is it because there's no Jackson that you think Gorn will go huge? Like,
yeah, so I think Darcy's a bit underdone. But it might also be a similar thing if they might not have, some people might not have Freo mids or Gold Coast mids, and Gordon just might be their second best option, where I can probably see him doing pretty well around the ground ahead of Darcy. So I think Darcy might win the ruck, but around the ground. Gawn should be able to run rings around him. He's still got that in him. So, I don't think it's the worst call. He's not the best option, but he's not the worst.
Yeah.
Rookie coach Draper might suck in a few if he has a good game against West Coast.
He's already
let's pull this up just for your information. Peter Wright has been recalled to face West Coast tomorrow. Todd Goldstein has also travelled to Perth, but expected to be an emergency. All aboard Draper, Brad. You got to do it.
Does Scott do a laid out because he's related to the other freaking Scott?
Yeah, but they don't do it as much as Geelong. Would your team be locked? Would certain areas of your side be locked for this to be affected?
I'd have to have a look, but Peter
Wright would be one of those things where you would have to go like Dylan Moore instead of Draper because.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, something to think about.
Hmm.
Who you bring in, rookie? Well, that's a question for him. Thanks for the update as well, Tex. Green always picks it up. Lock for 130. Lock 30 disposals every week. Yeah, he does pick it up a fair bit. So I think they can hold up, but you never know. Tom Green is a very solid pick, not a run-home pick, but a great floor and too big to tag, probably. He's not. Would you call him big?
He's 192, and he's probably the size of me, so probably, yeah.
True. Okay. Yeah. Can't go wrong with Tom Green as long as he's healthy. Strong hasn't had the chance to get an easy ball this year. Yeah, I swear there's like 5 blokes on him every time I watch a Freo game. And it just leaves Brayshaw free as a bird. If Neil scores below 100, do I trade him next week? No. I'd be keeping Neil at this point, I think. Jack.
Yeah.
Hippo at the minute, Sardis Henderson to Gross, El Hawley. Grabbed Cleary last week, nice. Then Roberts to Green. Love my pods. Team sheets will decide what rookies I go. If Sard is sub, I'll save the boost. Yeah, they seem like good moves. I don't really have anyone else before that with the loop. Fair enough.
Fair enough, Jonas.
Sarong has only gone 120 plus 3 times in his last 19 games. That's crazy.
Consistency, though. Like, look at his low floor. Like, he barely goes under 100.
Yeah, Sarong's just good to own. You don't have to worry about him. Because he's one of the better midfielders to handle the tag.
Yeah.
Cheese, time for trading premiums is over. I agree.
Yeah,
I think we've passed that point. At this point, they're buy flips, in my eyes. Let's wrap up some of the run sheets. So let's wrap up some of the run sheet here. Let's go on the hot seat. I did explain to you beforehand about what on the hot seat is. Who is the one coach, player, thing in the AFL SuperCoach wise that you need to kick up the arse? Who's on the hot seat?
Okay, Roberts, if you're listening, I'm sick of these rangers not being able to produce a score. We look at Oliver, Ranger, doesn't score well. Then we look at Roberts, back-to-back 70s. I'm giving these rangers one more chance. Clary, you've got to hold on to because of his fixture. But I swear, Roberts, I backed you in all week. And if you don't do something and pull 100, I'm going to look stupid. Like, honestly, sometimes it feels like you want to back these players, and if they shit the bed, you look stupid. But if you back them, they go, wow, you look like a genius. But for me, I've been hounded about Roberts all week, which is understandable. But we paid $430K for him. I was probably expecting to average around 100, maybe not necessarily keeper, or at least thereabouts to match it. But Roberts, you're on notice. You're going to Tom Stewart next week at worst case scenario. That's why I'm advocate to holding him. But he's definitely on my hot seat. If there's any other players in my side, not really. Like, other than that, who's on your hot seat, mate?
I don't know if you found it hard as well. I found it very hard after the round I had last week to put anyone on the hot seat, but the obvious one for me was Bailey Dale. We need a response here. You're not at Norwood anymore. You got St Kilda. Now, it's not as easy as advertised the matchup than previous years, but I'm not asking for much, mate. Can we get a ton here? Can we get a ton, Bailey? we need a ton here. So we need a response out of Bailey. I picked you over a lot of these defender primos. Let's see a bounce back, mate.
This is the other issue. You trusted a guy with 2 first names.
Yeah. So did you.
Yeah, I know. I actually really like the Dale pick. I don't know what's happening there. I still love him as a pick, to be honest. But I don't know.
No. I meant Matt Roberts.
Oh yeah, true.
No. I wasn't having a go at you.
I'm so confused. I just had this is my 3rd caffeine for the day. Like I had a triple shot of coffee, 2 of these, and I'm buzzing. So if I cut you off, it's because I'm probably running at 150 beats per minute.
Yeah, what did Jack Higgins say? 1,000 beats per second or something?
Literally, I'm pretty sure we have the same brain.
That's all right. Yeah, so they're on the hot seat for me.
Yep.
Anything else we haven't really discussed?
Yeah, I've got one for you. This is still something probably hasn't been spoken about much, but when you're trading in new primos this week, you probably should have a look at how many primos you have out that buy before bringing them in. So, example, I'd be going Hewitt this week over any other pick if I didn't have so many round 12 buy players. So for me, the primos I'm bringing in, I've got to sort of spread them out so I'm not conceding too many primos out in the one buy. Because last year I didn't really consider it, and my ranking went down a fair bit by not buy planning, even with the rookies you trade out as well. So there's guys you might have to hold on a little bit longer now just to compensate for the buy players. Like my round 12 buy players, I've got, I think, 5 or 6 primos there. So it's a no-go for round 12 buy players when I'm doing these polls on Twitter. So that's a hot one I forgot to mention to you.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Like, I think we're slowly getting to the point now where we got to consider more about the buy rounds. Like for me, for my starting team, I don't really consider the mid-season buys, but we're slowly getting to the point now where it's just a little bit closer. So, like for example, you don't want to be adding a 4th guy in the back line with the same buy. Like we need to just check that real quick. It will take 10 seconds to do just to see if your buy's all good there.
Yeah.
I think final thing on the run sheet is BC and C's. Who are we vice captaining and captaining, Brad? I think at the minute I've got I think at the minute I've got BC Brayshaw into McRae.
Ooh, I've gone slightly different. I've gone Shees into Brayshaw. I'm hearing word on the street down at the doggery is that they're going to look to nullify McRae's influence. We saw what happened last week with that. He dropped to 70. So I'm actually going to be safer. I think Carlton, I don't care if Hewitt goes soon. I think Shees will outrun Hewitt every day. But I think being a close game that I'm predicting, I think Shees off halfback or midfield should go 120 plus. And I just want a safe captaincy. Brayshaw against Melbourne, I'd rather do that than go, Brayshaw scored a 120. Now I'm going to have to see if I want to go for a 150 for McRae. Last week, I didn't take the 118 from DeConning because I don't sleep with the lights on here at SuperCoach Pro. I piffed the 118, but Brayshaw 155, and that is why I'm pretty excited this weekend. So for me, that's what I'm doing.
Fair enough. Yeah, because, it was also between Sheasel and Brayshaw or Brayshaw and McRae. I don't think the Dogs have really tagged this season, so I don't really know what exactly will happen. Like, I think Brayshaw is my best option this week. So I think just the VC to be safe, and then I think I can back McRae on, but that could change because I know Third Man Up or Pig Mentality haven't done their captain videos or recommendations yet as well. Yeah, which I wouldn't have mind to have seen if there's any data that I've missed on certain guys, but
yeah, it's hard to know. I listen to the Pig Mentality for VC and C, just for more like I won't go for players I haven't considered that week, but players he's mentioned that I've already considered, then I'll jump on. That's how I view listening to those sort of things. Hopefully
Sparrow goes to Sarong. if he does, then they might go to Brayshaw at this point.
That's what I think, actually. But I don't
That's
know.
what I'm mildly worried about.
Do you know what Tom Sparrow's been tagging players to, though? That's what I'd like to know. Because
he doesn't look like a good tagger to me. Like, I wouldn't be too fussed.
Nah, neither would I.
Yeah, Brayshaw has been tagged on a while, though, so that'd be the only thing I'm like, okay, if he goes to him, then I don't know what his output is with the tag.
This is the thing with Tom Sparrow too. I don't even know what he looks like. I just Googled him then. Like, I've never heard of her. Does you know what I mean? That's the kind of tagger that I don't really care about. I have heard of Tom Sparrow, just for record, but unless it's a Windy or a Bedford or Connor Nash, etc., I'm not really worried about a Sparrow unless there's data showing that he holds someone to a 60, I guess.
Yeah, I think Sparrow suits Sarong better than Brayshaw, I feel. So it might be that. Like, to be fair, I didn't think Sparrow could tag Holmes, and he did a pretty good job of that. But he couldn't do it with Merritt. So maybe the more outside players suited for the outside, like Brayshaw, might actually suit him better. But it's hard to tell. So
yeah,
I tell you what, it's getting harder each week. Just nailing a captain now, just due to all the tags running around and the new tags and all that sort of thing. We're seeing it more and more where if you can just get a 120, that's just what I'm aiming for. Like, the key is just nailing a 120 each week.
Yeah, 100%. Because the week before getting a 155 double from Brayshaw, I got a 72 from Finn. So a difference of like 150 points just in that alone, maybe even a bit more. So I think, the most important thing for your week is actually A, trading in the right primo that's got good history against the upcoming opponent they're playing this week, and B, VCing the option that goes, 120. But then also being ballsy as well. If your side's flying, I don't mind taking a punt on a C, depending on your team. If you need to play it safe, sometimes I'll play it last minute and go, all right, I'm already at 2-3. Can I get to 2-5 by being a bit sneaky here? Depending on your loops, obviously, as well. But it certainly does pay off every now and then to actually miss a 118 and go a 155, because without that 155 double on the Brayshaw, I probably wouldn't be sitting in 1,200 or whatever it is at the moment, mate. So that's how I view that.
Yeah, and if I took the TDK, I'd probably be outside the top 10K. So, there'll be occasions like that where that pays off. There'll be other weeks where it doesn't. But we just got to really view our captain options. Like for me, I can sometimes change my VC take line due to if, like, for example, I think it was round 4. I didn't like my captain options whatsoever, where I identified Bailey Smith as my best option for the week. Wow. And I had TDK Thursday night. I was just thinking, I'm genuinely taking a 110 this week. Like, there's just no good captain options that I have any faith in. So, I think if you can stay flexible with adjusting your lines based on how you're viewing your captains, like, it was 120 for me last week because I viewed TDK and Brayshaw as fantastic captain options. Where if TDK goes 118, not taking that. I think Brayshaw can do better. It's that sort of thing. So, yes. All right. Let's. I think we'll get into some these final questions. We'll probably wrap it up, Brad.
Are you going to do jump on, jump off after this?
Oh yeah, true. Good point. I forgot about that. We'll do that as well for any final adjustments.
Yep.
Okay. What were we up to? We're up to here, I believe. Jonas Goat, not risking Rowan Marshall being out or Boyd coming in. Rowan Marshmallow. Yeah.
I think Marshmallow will, at one point, not have to worry about Boyd. It's just what you're waiting until Marshmallow's got full fitness. Once he's got full fitness, Boyd's not going to play consistently. Boyd's purely just a ruck insurance policy for games like this where he's obviously carrying a niggle. But at 400K, you can't tell me that wouldn't be the worst flexibility, because you could at least make money off him as well. You could easily make 100K, 150K off of Romo and sell him, use it as a cash cow at the same time, get really good points in the flex position. So yeah, I wouldn't rule Romo off being a really tactical pick, or if Pitto is getting named constantly.
Agreed. Yeah, Dale Bulldogs. Yeah, that was with the hot seat. Fair enough.
Yeah.
CWT, I've been loving your work on Twitter, mate. Hope you're doing well. I love your work there. Need Jonah Takula to get rang around up going, bully them all into form.
Yeah, I swear, I don't want to bring in another ranger. That's my hot take this week.
Yeah. No more rangers. Speaking of one, Tom Green, another ranger. Yeah, we bloody love the rangers here. No.
I thought you meant rookie coaches did another ranger. That's what
No, I've never hanged shit on rookie coach. He's a legend.
I know he's a good man. We go to gym every now and then together.
Slay. Jonas Goat. Peppa Pig is scoring big at Adelaide Oval, 83, 74, 101, but garbage at the G18 and 48 at Marvel. I have to bench him at the SCG and field Cleary. I'd probably field Cleary ahead. That's hard to say, actually.
Fine, really. I think Power Pepper will be fine.
Yeah, I'd be. Yeah, up to you, Jonas. Good shout, Brad. Didn't realise my plans were screwing me over with that round 15 bye.
Yep.
The wow face. Yeah, what's your worst bye, Brad? I think mine might be round 15.
Mine's 12. I am absolutely screwed for round 12. Hence why I'm trying to upgrade my season faster than normal, so I've got enough premos to cover round 12.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at 12 now. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so like I've got Horn Francis, Daniel, TDK. I mean, we might be trading him out soon anyway. I've still got Sanders. That's funny.
Oh God.
I have to trade him to get to Dacos, so he might finally go. But
yeah,
I have major concerns with Bond coming back this week potentially with him. So that might force my hand and just fuck it. Let's grab Dacos. I mean he's been going fine. He's been looking better, but the role's slowly diminishing. Chera might be a buy flip or he might be a hold. Rosie,
I think he's a hold until he gets injured.
Yeah. And then Dale and Sheasel. So it's not horrific, but yeah, ideally not many more.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Don't risk the Boyd C loop. Oh, not this again. What do you think, Brad?
People wouldn't freaking shut about Boyd. Like, don't worry about orange players unless they're honestly named in a presser that they might be in, etc. Just don't sit down and piss is what I'm trying to say. Just risk it for the biscuit. You always have a wait, see, you can chuck it on. Like my worst case scenario was if that did happen, I've got Leak anyway, but I was looking at Rosie, worst case captaincy. I didn't expect him to have a half-back role change, but don't let orange lights make you sleep with the lights on, basically. Like just send it. You've got to play this game without worrying about emergencies every 5 seconds. And stuff Twitter too. I actually get sick of hearing it, seeing it. Players with bandages as well. Like people zoom in on a bandaged leg, and that's why people didn't bring in Baz. Like anyway, I'm going to get really mad. Keep going.
We love angry Brad here.
Sorry.
Surely Flynn gets picked this week. I really don't care. SuperCoach God, Ned Long Schlong. Yeah, mate, you got 50 plus likes. You got to chuck the VC on him. You never know. They'll tag Dacos. And Ned Long is free, mate. You got to unleash. I think Brayshaw will smash demons. Oh, yeah. Fingers crossed. We're banking on him doing a lot with just some of these players getting tagged now. G'day, guys. Who would you pick as VC out of Merritt, Brayshaw, Rao, Whitfield, Zorko, or Sinclair? Get my need my brain cells to connect here. So Merritt's playing West Coast, so I think he's a good shout. Yep. Brayshaw's a good shout. Rao's a good shout. Whitfield's got who have the Giants got?
Well, I actually don't know. I've got Finn Callahan, so I haven't been following that bastard too. You can get a rocket up him.
Who have they got? I've blanked here. Adelaide, I prefer the first three. Zorko against Pies, not the worst. And then Sinclair's got the Dogs. Gee, you got some good options actually. I would Oh, I think Merritt is a good shout. So I'd put the VC on him. And then probably Brayshaw. And then if you can watch Melbourne Freo, like 3 minutes before the game starts, if you can see Tom Sparrow go to him, then put it on Rao, I think.
Don't worry about Sparrow.
Don't worry.
No, we'll be okay.
Hope that helps, Velo. VC Brayshaw into McRae, revenge game, I think. If Patton or Boyd not named. Not sure if Patton's coming back, and then Boyd is just a living emergency legend. Yeah, I think that's what I might be doing. Lachlan Hurley, John Newcomb for a pod. He went big last year with Day out of side. Yeah, he's a good pod. I don't mind him. I'd just give it a week.
Yep.
What's his break even? I haven't checked.
134 or something. Do you want to double check that if you want? But
yeah, 134. Yeah, give it a week.
Yeah.
And see how he goes. Just in case to avoid any potential Atkins or O'Connor tag. But yeah, he has a really good run after this week. Imagine Geelong have another laid out special. Team's not even named until Sunday. Yeah. Oh man, you can never rule it out, can you?
I can't
Did you see Scott on Footy Classified? He was just like, I don't give a shit.
No, I don't watch anything with Scott. I'd rather. I won't say. Nah, stuff Scott. He ruins our rookies. He ruins Stewart every week with Gastro. The only thing that's got the shits is him picking rookies. Like he's so annoying. He's inconsistent, and I hate watching his.
I liked Joe from Centre Bounce's comment on it. He just said, "Oh, I hope he's not giving everyone else Gastro a gather round." So I think everyone's fine though.
Yeah.
Jonas Goat, yeah, Marshmallow has huge runs of scores and some stinkers. Yeah, he does. He can have a low floor, but gee, when Marshall, we saw in the back half of last year, he was just on fire. So I think he's just building his way into the season. We can get him cheap. Beautiful. I'm looking at VC going into Anderson this week. Yep, I have no problems with that causer. Thoughts on Heaney? Yeah, he's flying under the radar a fair bit. I think playing the same role as last year, I would have thought. So I don't think you can rule it out.
I just don't think he's top 10 for me. Like he's averaging 99 at 541k, break even of 112. He's had a little bit of attention too. He's got scores of 105, 103, 78, 94, and 118. I just want to see A, more of a ceiling, and B, just more scores than over a 105. Like he's gone over 105 once in 5 games. It's probably a no for me. He's not really a VC or C shout at the moment, but we know Heaney first half of the year last year was something else, mate. So no for me. I just want to see big ceiling games.
Yeah, I think, well, Heaney does have a good run next week onwards until the bye. So if he could spike there. His run after this week against Port is Gold Coast, light green fixture, GWS hard. So he might get Bedforded. Then you got Essendon, Carlton, Melbourne, Adelaide, Richmond, and then the bye. So maybe just see his break even after the Giants game. He might get Bedforded.
Yeah.
Cook, Brad. He is cooking a 5-course meal on MasterChef right now. Brad is him.
Thanks.
Twitter, FUD. Is that a pronunciation for something?
I have no idea.
Twitter FUD is definitely crazy and often wrong. Lamau. It's always annoying when a content creator peddles it to the masses. Yeah. Twitter's interesting. It's 95% of the SuperCoach community is good, but there can be some vlogs. God, unleash the ball. If he goes 120 plus, I'm getting a new Collingwood Guernsey with 44 on the back. Mate, you got to do more than that. If he goes 120 against the reigning premiers, you got to do what Spilsy did. Get a tattoo if it happens. Surely.
Oh God, I hope this works out for you. Honestly, I do.
Maybe a raw egg live on live.
If Nedong double tons, I'll shave my head.
Yeah. You got to go for it. Jonas Goat, Brad, you've missed the point. If Boyd was a late in, Gorn would have been stuck on the bench, having already played.
Yeah,
got.
I get his point, but there was no chance that Boyd was playing. Boyd, I don't know. I think people read into Norwood Oval thing too much and too much speculation. Speculation in SuperCoach on Twitter, on whatever it is, can really stuff your VC and C options, and it can really take you away. So on that point, I could have used the TDK for Boyd and been in the same position. But then I remembered I had a leak. I still probably would have sent it anyway, regardless of the Boyd news, and getting worried out of it, because too many times I've been worried out on social media for certain things like this. And worst case, I would have just changed the C to a late game. In Jonas's position, I do understand what he's saying, no, because you don't want to have Boyd's 50 and then he loses 95 points because Gordon went 145. So totally get it. But I'm just mean the 98% of people that were in the camp of not worrying about that, it just sort of didn't make sense to me. But that's fine.
Yeah. DJ Gardner Holmes, as I said, good name. Double downgrade this week, banking 350K, so I can go 1 down, 2 up next week. Hall to Dacos, Trainer to Stewie, or should I boost to upgrade Dacos or Holmes this week? 6 rookies on field, by the way.
It double
Trainer
down.
might still have another couple of weeks after next week.
Yeah. It's hard to see without seeing the team. Maybe if he inboxes me at SuperCoach Pro 91, I'll have a look at his team and we'll go through it.
Yep. Teams named on Saturday, I think. I'm trying to remember. I should remember. I believe Easter Monday games are a Sunday, 5 o'clock.
Sunday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're Sunday, 5 p.m., Steve.
Yeah, I reckon they're Sunday, 5 o'clock,
Yep.
the Monday games. Because after Saturday, you have 5 p.m. then the day before to name teams.
Yep.
God, going to be sweating on Nevitt.
Yep.
Why?
Because he might be sub or something like that. Chris Scott, it could get dropped. Who knows? It's Scott. I don't think he even knows what he's doing until he gets to the ground.
Yeah, that's fair enough. When did Geelong play? Oh, yeah, this Monday. My brain's fried, mate. I don't know how you do 4 hours of this shit. I can't believe it.
I don't know how to do a 3 or 4 hour stream either, but I love it.
Yeah, my brain is dead now. He said, I don't care about gamblers and punters. Yeah, I was just paraphrasing. Yeah, but thanks, guys. Merit into Rouse, my choice. Yeah, nice. Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong there. I don't really like cheese. You had this form to finish the year. It's a continued no for me. Who was this about?
I don't know if it was Rao or Tommy Green. Could be either.
Yeah. Heaney. Would have been Heaney.
Heaney, okay. It applies to all three of these. Anyway.
After he got suspended, he was just ass. Lachlan Petrarca hasn't turned up yet, and people are bringing him in, so Heaney certainly worth a look at this price. Surely track tons up. Yeah, it's funny that Jaden Shorts had more tons than Petrarca.
I think Petrarca averages about 75 against Freo. His break-even's 101. So if he scores, probably a pass mark for me is 100, but I'm going to watch this game with my own eyes to then see if he looked better than what he was scoring. But for me, he's got a West Coast Richmond after that. So 483, if he scores like 70 or 80, he might come down another, between 10 and 20K. But I think you got one more week to look at it because in reality, Freo are going to smash him in the midfield and Petrarca might score a 70. You might get him for another 20K cheaper and sit on your hands 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. Petrarca's ceiling might be done, but I don't think he scores. He doesn't score bad. He just scores fine each week. I'm not getting a tap. That's nuts.
Hey, this is funny, Steve. Do you know about 3 years ago? If you go back to my videos from when I first started, I had no tattoos for 3 or 4 years ago.
I saw you. I was watching your channel intro video the other day.
That is the worst. That was almost that's almost like that Sunday footy show. Join us when who was it? Brett Kirk. I may as well.
I loved it.
Anyway, 4 years ago I had none, and then someone sent me a Collingwood membership, and now I'm this.
Would you ever go to the neck?
I've already got one behind my head. It's a little one, and then I got another one behind here. And I've done my neck, back my neck and my legs are sleeved out just about.
Is there any plans? Other plans?
I've got my chest. I'm not saying I'm covered, but I've got both sleeves, my chest done, a bit of my back done. Most of my legs are done, barring the middle of my knees to my quads. But yeah, probably too many. If I counted the money I've spent on it, it's probably ridiculous.
Yep. CWT fight at fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah, we've got a bunch of them in the Twitter community.
Yeah.
Velo would be handy if Stone or Moraes dropped. No, I'd rather just the MK playing.
Yeah, same.
Rookies are more important than a loophole.
Yep.
But I get what you mean, though. At SuperCoach Scott, if Superman goes 50, you definitely should. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I wouldn't mind it. It's like Matt Turner from Phantom Podcast was where Jack Carroll got. Wait, what? Sorry. It's like Matt Turner from Phantom Podcast was worried at got Jack Carroll C off a 10 a few seasons ago when he was a rookie and the sub, yeah. Yeah, he's at the Saints now, isn't he, Jack Carroll? Yeah, we just can't be as concerned as sometimes.
Yeah, you want to have fun with the game. You don't want to be paranoid all the time.
No, don't let it ruin your Easter.
Yep.
Because I don't know whether to trade Nevitt or Davidson.
Davison's got more cash out of him.
Yeah, probably. Probably going Nevitt, but I don't know.
Like the debate with Davison is, look, he's probably going to make an extra 50K, 100K max, but if that gets you primo earlier, then you send it. His break-even 60. He's more than likely can go 60, but if he does get a 120, he resets his cash generation. But it's so hard because it's a 2-game sample side for Davison. But for me, he gets me a primo earlier. So I'd rather a primo up this week on everyone else as opposed to double downgrading. Hence why I'm going to boost Cross and Cleary and a primo in just to get ahead of the pack. So I don't know how you view that, but yeah, probably Davison.
Yeah. B Rattles, love your work, bruz. Do you like onions on your Bunnings snag?
I freaking hate onions and I really hate mustard and I don't like barbecue sauce. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for those three, but just sauce, double sausage. That sounds weird and you're on.
Yeah, I'm just tomato and mustard.
Oh, and cheese.
Tomato and mustard, yeah. What?
And cheese. A bit of cheese sprinkled.
Oh, what? I didn't know that was a thing. It shows how long I haven't had a snag there. I didn't know that cheese was a thing for Bunnings snags. Leave in the comments down below if that's leave in the comments down below if that's always been a thing. How do I contact you on Twitter, Pro? I just followed you, but no message options. Same username as this one.
All right, I'll get into that shortly.
Do you need to follow each other back and then do it?
Yeah, you got to follow each other back. And then, if I haven't, just comment on my latest post and write, follow me back, and then I will. Yep.
Double sausage, Brad, for fuck's sake. Too early for this. It's not too early.
I think he means because he's talking after dark. I didn't. It wasn't meant to be.
The after dark.
Yeah.
Cheese at home, yes. Bunnings never seen it.
No. I was just taking a piss. I don't bring cheese.
Cheese is a big thing around these parts. Bring in your own cheese. Yeah. What? So you go to Coles beforehand, buy the shredded tasty cheese, and just whack it on at Bunnings in public.
No, I don't. I just don't know how people thought I'd know where the nearest Bunnings snag was, and I just go to Coles and locally and bring a cheese.
Right.
Yeah, I was just saying if I had a sausage at home, that's even worse. I'd put cheese and tomato on it. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so you don't want to jump off before it gets even more rated.
Ricky Coach now can confirm Brad brings us a bag of shredded cheese to the gym as well.
Yeah, that is confirmation. I like to snack on cheese during my gym sessions.
Good pre-workout. It's in his trousers. Oh, shit. What have I done?
Oh no.
It's his trousers, big cheesy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to do some really quick jump on, jump off. I'll let you get started on this though, because I need another piss.
Just share the screen with me for it, or else I'll
Yeah,
have
I'll share the screen and I'll let you cook.
All right. My heart rate's going through the roof, Steve. Like, I could literally go for a freaking run or fly to the moon at this point with my wings that I've grown. Poof.
Is this all right? I'll
This is all
scroll
right.
down.
Oh, you're talking about that. Yes, I can see Davison. Okay, I'll start there. You go.
You get a mini head start. I need to take a piss.
All right. He will BRB. So, yeah, okay, my thoughts on jumping on, jumping off for these players of the week. So, basically, if you haven't caught this before, we normally do this on his channel one week and my channel the other week. And shout out to my channel too, SuperCoach Pro. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, SuperCoach Pro 91. So, getting us started, Davison is the number one traded out player here in 10% of sides. My take on it, I mean, is probably a week where if he gets you a primo early, you jump on, right? You just send it because you want to get a primo up earlier than everybody else. So for me, his break even is 60. He goes 120 this week. Well, then at least you got a primo in. This is sort of silver lining thing. Not Brayshaw. I traded out Sam Powell Pepper. He scored like 102, but I grabbed Brayshaw the same week and I captained him for 155. So for me, if they've made, 200, 300K and it gets you a primo, you send it. So it's really horses for courses. For me personally, jumping off for what I'd do with the crowd, probably 50-50 split, but I'd use his cash because he's at 300K. He might make an extra 50, 60K, 100K. Do I think he's going to make an extra 100K? Probably not. But Steve, perfectly timing. I've finished my Davison thought. What do you think of Davison as a trade in or trade out? As a jump on or jump off?
Perfectly fine to hold, perfectly fine to trade as well. So I don't see many problems with either. If he gets you a premium, that's great. If he doesn't quite get you to a premium that you want, then he's perfectly fine to hold. I think it's a good matchup.
Yep. Hendo, you kick us off. You hosted.
Huge jump off. He's either dead or losing cash.
This is my issue, though, with Hendo SDS. If he is not named, you could loop this week. Whereas if he is named and then he's sub, his cash gen's going down the drain. He's only made 66K, so I'm reluctant to hold this guy and hope he comes good.
It'll take him a fair while to come good if he stays on the side, though.
If he stays on the side and then he's got the fixture of West Coast and Richmond, though, even if he comes on the sub, I don't know. I just want him to get to 200, but the issue is the 13's now in his cycle for the next couple of weeks. So if it avenues you to a primo, you jump on. It's a horses for courses again. I'm 50-50 on the fence for this one.
Yeah. I'm finding it hard, but it's weird. It's a weird one. O'Driscoll's a jump off.
Oh, yeah, he's 100% jump off. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, people would have used him as a loop, and you can move off. For Matty Roberts at 4.6%, the percentage is a lot lower this week, it feels. So I reckon Roberts is a hold for another week, but I know some people are doing Roberts to Dacos.
Yeah. I think he's a hold, and then you just trade him to Stewart next week at worst case. You get one free look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Number 5 is Sam DeConning. This is a definite jump off.
Yeah, you couldn't jump off fast enough. Like, this is turned to absolute dog poo. He's now playing in the back line, and Stanley's in. How the hell is Stanley still on the list? I don't know. But anyway, DeConning's a jump off.
Yeah, not even playing ruck anymore. I mean, defender ruck is an interesting loop to have, interesting DPP to have, but not much point. 6 is Callahan. We talked about this earlier. I think he's a hold. You're selling him at his lowest point. The role hasn't necessarily changed. I think he's just in a rough patch. I think he'll bounce back.
I think he's a hold too, just because of his price point. The only way I'd condone getting rid of him in any way is if your team was fine. You already went early on a couple of these rookies that we're hot on, and you had the 40K to go one trade from him to a Dylan Moore, that's the only way I'd advocate for Finn, because at least Dylan Moore will probably be thereabouts as a top 8 forward. But other than that, I can't see a world where you'd want to trade him out, because potentially he's probably still averaging the same as Dylan Moore anyway for this pick. If he was at 480, 490, kind of makes more sense, because you got to get a form primo for an extra 30K, but you got to put 120K on him to get something decent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree there. Yeah. Number 7 is Clayton Oliver. What are we doing? This is a hold. He's got, after this week, he's got West Coast and what order is it? Richmond then West Coast. Don't trade him. He's been fine.
He's been okay. Like, you paid what you got for Oliver, and he's a ranger, so it's a bit frustrating. I'd get rid of him purely based on that, but you just hold him. Like, he's got a good run coming. You don't trade him out. He's going to burn you like Rose did, I suppose. So it's a hold for me. Hold him. Give him a cuddle.
Yep, just give him a cuddle. Sometimes that's what rangers need. Number 8, and a lot more loving. Number 8, we've got Isaac Kako. I think the break-even's 15. He's got West Coast. This is a hold.
I actually think he's a bit of a jump on or jump off, really. Like, if he can get avenue again to
jump on.
Sorry, a jump off, not a hold. Yeah. I'd almost, like, he's playing West Coast, he could get a spike score, but there's a world where also he just gets another 50. So if he gets you a primo again, I'd probably jump off. People are using his money too. I wouldn't mind using his money. He's a small forward.
Yeah, exactly. He's got good job security. Number 9, Joel Frazier is a definite jump off. He's losing money now. Although I did hear that from Western Bulldogs training reports this morning that they're looking to make a few adjustments to roles for the team going forward. That might mean Frazier's half back.
This is weird, because this catfished me. I really actually liked SCK and Frazier a couple of weeks ago, and now it's sort of turned to poo for different various reasons. But Frazier, again, you're going to probably have to go to a keeper at this point. You don't want to go to another mid-pricer. So, yeah, jump off him.
And then at number 10, we've got Connor Stone, where I think if you don't have worse rookies than Connor Stone, I think this is fine. Like, this is very, very slow cash generation from him. So I think it's fine to trade if you haven't got any worse problems. I've got worse problems, so I'm holding. But I think Stone's fine to hold or trade.
I think he's a bit of a slow burn because his name's Stone, so he could be stoned here. But, yeah, it's probably just a hold.
We just hope he keeps playing every week. Let's talk about the most traded in players. Number 1, we've got Caden Cleary, I think, and we'll fit Tom Gross in the same thing as well. I think they're both definite jump-ons.
Yeah, I think they're definite jump-ons too. They're both 1 and 2 clearly for the next, even maybe couple of weeks. Job security is hard to know these rookies, but you'd think it's pretty decent for both. It's a jump-on for both of these guys for sure.
Yeah, for sure. There's 2 main things that we look at with rookies: job security and role. I think Caden Cleary's got the good job security, and I think Tom Gross has got the good role, and also good job security. And Cleary's been a good scorer in the past in the VFL and heading into his draft year, so I think he'll be good. So, yeah, I think they're both definite jump-ons. Number 3, you got Nick Dacos, the Primo flavour of the week. 6.9% trying to get him in. I think this is perfectly fine to jump on this week or next week. I think you've just got to make sure you get him in, though.
Yeah, I think he's probably a jump on. I do think it's more of a crowd pick this week. I have definitely considered it, though. So for me, you could either wait a week because he's got Brisbane at the Gabba and he's got to break even with like 120. So give you another look at it. But I think we know he's going to be roughly top 10. For me, it's just the planner. Like that foot, I just don't want his time to be managed. So like at the start of the week, I was very paranoid. I've sort of been told that, he'll be fine. His tog's been similar to last year, but it still does worry me if they start smashing sides as he get subbed out, 3/4 time. But it's probably a jump on if not sleeping.
I think he's slowly building, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, but it still does make me paranoid. I know I'm saying, just go balls to the wall with a lot of these things and be confident with the pick, but there is a world where at some point he might get subbed, but he's still a fantastic pick by any means.
Yeah. At number 4, we got Sardell Hawley. Now, I think this is fine to jump on, but at the same time, I almost reckon just due to the lack of options next week, he might just be a wait and see for next week if we don't have any other downgrade options. So you can jump on if you like, but I also reckon it's fine to maybe wait a week, see if he's not sub, because they seem pretty adamant on wanting him to be sub. So I'd almost give it a week with Saad.
If he's not sub this week and not sub next week, I'm going to jump on next week due to the rookies next week sucking. So, yeah, for me, I'd wait till the week after. You've got Gross and Cleary there already.
Yeah, exactly. Prioritise the top two first.
Yep.
Number 5, we've got Max Holmes. I think he's perfectly fine to jump on. 540K is very generous and a comfortable price tag for people to pay for a premium defender. So he's taking his game to another level this year. So mindful worry on the tags, but I think he's definitely top 8.
Yeah, I think he's top 8 too. I just don't want to handcuff Holmes and Stewart in the same game and have to watch 2 Cats players in one game because it's a hard watch. But yeah, it's a jump on for Holmesy. Like he's a good pick, he's got that DPP flexibility that will help you later in the buys.
1,000%, yeah. I think Hawthorn's a good matchup for him. I don't think there's an ideal matchup for him this week. So I think another solid week. Number 6, we got Connor Rozee, 2.5% of trading him in. I guess with the role change, I guess if you traded him out, it's hard to bring him back in. But at 498K in this new halfback role that's just come out of Ken Inkley's ass, he becomes interesting again. What would you say for the people that have jumped off? Would you reconsider? And for the people that have never owned him, would you jump on?
This is hard because it kind of
one or the other. I can't get a good read on this.
For me, if I didn't own him already, I'd probably jump on because you've already missed those bad scores. But then I wouldn't want to be bringing him back in. But consider this too. Butters wasn't there in the start, so Connor was getting the tag. So for me, he's probably fine, but he's probably not top 10 in the midfields. But if you are confident in Ken leaving him at halfback for the next 6 weeks, he will then get DPP round 11, and he's probably more than likely being top 8 defender in that role. So for me, yeah, if he hasn't already burnt out, do you really want to spend that many trades bringing him out, in, out, etc.? But yeah, he's a good price. Like him and Chera are probably the best buys for primos that people aren't really talking about.
Yeah, Chera's flying under the radar massively. Yeah, I think if the role was the same, he scored 137. It's like, and you traded him out. What's the point? What are you doing? It's more the fact the role's changed. I think he's a jump on. From what it sounds like with this role might persist, because I just didn't know if it was going to persist. But Port spanked us last week, so they'll continue with it. So number 7, we got Ned Long from the Pies. I think we've talked a fair bit about him, but not for me. I'm not jumping on. But yeah, I just, for me, in my opinion, he's not a jump on, but I know some people will, which is fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump on along, unfortunately. But look, if he goes well done to you. But he's a bit of a pod smoky. I just don't want to pay up for 280 for a glorified rookie. Yeah, agreed.
If this was round 2 or round 3, he becomes 10 times more interesting.
Yeah,
but it's the fact it's round 6 upgrade season. I'm too late, I reckon. Number 8 is Nass. I think he's a good jump on. I know some people are thinking Holmes or Nass. I'm probably more of a Nass man, just the way he goes about it. I love watching him. The tag will go to Sinclair ahead of him. So, I really do like the Nass pick. I was early in the week thinking of getting him in, but I think it works for my team better if I double downgrade or go day costs, because it seems like a lot of my mid guys that I started are getting DPP, where I'm getting a bit thin in the midfield. So, I think he is definite jump on. Wish I went him over Dale.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, though. Honestly, Yeah, you grab Nas. Again, I like Fremantle and St Kilda because the round 13 bye that they have. So Nas for me is more appealing than a Holmes, just to the fact that if you don't got a lot of Saints and Freo players, he could be really handy for your bye cover. And he'll score around the same as him anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yep.
Number 9, we got Lockie Ash. We haven't talked about him at all yet. I'm not quite sold just yet. I don't know about you.
I think, like, again, for the 30, 40K extra, you could probably go other guys.
You just go Holmes, right?
Yeah, you'd go Holmes or Nas just for that little bit extra money. But it could be a pod pick. He's got 2 under 100, and then he's got some really high ceiling games. It hasn't been too many players you can think of, though, that 2 halfback flankers have both been really, really high scorers. So it could be a bit of a drop-off. But Cumming came out of that back line as well, you got to remember. So they're the 2 main guys distributing out of the back line. So if you think Whitfield gets tagged a fair bit, he's probably going to go off in those games, but he's probably more like to finish at top 15 sort of finish. He's a hard tell at this point in round 5, 6, whatever.
I don't think he's cheap enough either to justify it. Like if you did it a few weeks ago, then it's fine. But you can pay 30K and get Holmes. You can pay 30K and get Jordan Clark. I don't know. I don't like jumping on guys that I haven't seen primo stuff like this before, where I just don't know how it's going to go. But just not for me. Not for me. If he turns out to be an absolute gun, then fair enough. But I'd rather just pay 30K and get Holmes. And then last but not least, certainly not least, our absolute glorious king, you are my sunshine, Andrew Brayshaw at 624K. I think this is too much money now. I think you've missed the boat on most of the good run that Freo had at the start of the year. So I'm not paying. I wouldn't pay this for Brayshaw. You're paying him a top dollar, really. So I think he's wonderful, but probably just wait for him to go down.
Yeah, so he's 624K, break even's 83. So you're probably gonna, if he gets a 128, which he's predicted to, he goes another 20K up, meaning he'll be 644 next week. He's got Melbourne, Adelaide, St Kilda in the next few. But he's gone scores of 101, 106, 131, 135, and a 155. So even away, so Optus, he's gone 106, 131, and 135, but his away games have still been a 155 and a 101. So for me, I think his tackle numbers have gone up. I actually like him slightly ahead of Merritt out of these guys. And the tag seems to go Sarong, freeing him up. So all his stats are up from the previous year. He's a good watch. He's like, his time on ground isn't huge, but he always just seems to be able to read where the ball's going. I think he's actually top 3 mid this year. So for me, you don't want to pay up for these guys, but if you really could and you had that much sitting in the kitty, it wouldn't be the worst option. Like, he's a safe VC and C every week, and he's got proven scoring history as well. So I love this pick. But yeah, just the price point's a little bit hard to bring in.
Yeah, it felt like a last week or a week before sort of thing.
Yeah.
When you could bank a couple more easy scores, but I'd rather just go Dacos or Sarong or Green or Anderson or Rao and save money down the line.
Yeah, I agree, mate.
All right, good stuff with jump on, jump off. I think we'll do some final questions. I think I've got a feeling the centre bounce stream would have started, so this the viewers have dropped off a bit, but we really do appreciate everyone jumping on and getting the questions in. Been really good fun doing the stream here. So let's do some final questions here. It's in his trousers, big cheesy. Yeah, we did that. What big snags are you jumping on, Steve? I don't know. Probably Andrew Brayshaw's.
Wild.
Jumping.
Yeah.
Because we're doing jump on, jump off. Big snags. What are some really good? I don't know. The bunny snags are hard to beat, though.
Yeah, they're good.
Lou Sassel loves a sausage. So does Jenna Talia.
I've no idea.
I don't know what that means. Might be his hinge matches. I don't know. No, shout out to you, JCR. Next runner up, Tom Green in, Matt Roberts out. Yeah.
I can't do it. I just threw something at the ground. I'm sick of hearing Rangers. I actually like Tom Green, though.
Might need Jared Ruffhead in soon. 8 out of 10 Rangers do suck.
Which gender?
Yeah. Are there any Rangers in the community?
Oh, rookie coach. That's why everybody.
Is he actually redhead?
Yeah, he's legit. He's a big unit too. He looks like a Tommy Stewart in person, and he's a great bloke, by the way.
Yeah, he's a beauty. He's that good of a bloke that he had to get red hair. Something had to give. So, Jack Rankin, I'm back. Good to hear that you're back. Might not be for long though. I enjoy jump on, jump off. Cheers, lads. I appreciate it. MC Beat Me, you've been pretty consistent each week at jumping on these streams on the Thursday, so I appreciate it. Give us a hot take for your week. Okay, good question. Could be anything of like long scoring a 60 or burning God's team. Up to you. What's my hot take of the week? Shit, I need some thinking music here.
Okay, I've got one for you. I think Roberts bounced back, and I think Long fails tonight. Sorry, God. SC God, that is. All
right. My hot take will be James Jordan goes to Rosie.
Oh, God, I will actually punch Sculler V and have to get a plaster the next day if that happens. I will lose my absolute banana if that happens. The team review would be like a hippo review. Honestly, I will lose my anyway, I think my heart rate's too much. I'm going to go walk my dog. I think I might even take it for a run at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's our hot take. Have I got any others? I don't know. A rookie on our bench that we don't think about fielding goes 100.
Oh, that would also just really
it'd be like a Marays or some shit.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Like, I've already got so much rage built up. I think I need to go hit the boxing bag. I don't know why. And I need to piss. We better get out of here. I'm holding on to a big stream here.
All good, mate. Look, we'll wrap things up here, guys. Thank you, guys, for. Kako to kick 5. Good shout.
Then hold him.
Shout. I like it. He'll be on him. Who knows? Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Throwdown Thursdays. Brad, well done as co-host in your debut episode.
No worries. I think I scored about 150 tonight, so I appreciate your time, mate. And, you can catch us on SuperCoach Pro. I've got my own channel. We do weekly segments of Jump On, Jump Off on our other's channels each week. And then I do a lot of streaming during the weeknights as well, and just have people on. So thank you for your time and effort, Steve. And, good luck this week, mate. Hopefully I outscore you.
Yep. Hopefully another good week for us too, as we're looking to build into the season. Thanks, fellas. No, I appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy. It's been good fun. 2 hours 12 is a record. I can't believe I still have a brain at this point. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for Jump On, Jump Off. Brad is back again next week as Damo's busy for a couple of Thursdays. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next stream. Have a great long weekend. Happy Easter. Hope you enjoy the family, spending time with your family, and whatever you're doing. Hope it's a good Easter. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.